This is exactly what I expected. You bring out the old coat hanger.
Arrogant.
Go for it, Geraldo. Come on, keep going.
Okay, Joey.
You're making a fool of yourself.
On this.
Don't you? You know something?
What?
You insulting punk.
Okay.
Oh, what? Am I your new Bongino?
Go. If you want that role.
As you can tell, things got a little bit hairy on Fox's The Five last night. That was when Geraldo Rivera and Greg Gutfeld went at it over the topic of abortion. And so that means that it is time for another installment of Yes, that's right. It is the cat fight. And that clip that you had seen, well, that came at the very end of their conversation. So now let's look at what led to it. First, Rivera criticizes how Supreme Court justices are allowed to lie about their true intentions in confirmation hearings, which is a very good point. But then Joey Jones offers some kind of excuse only for Rivera to go on with him. Watch this.
I think that, first of all, Republicans make a mistake when they emphasize the crime of the leak itself over the impact of what the decision would entail for the women. And I think that emotion, however you think of those particular personalities, that is legit. This is more problematic, I think. And Judge, I think you'd agree with me. What this shows, because it goes both ways, what this shows is that the Senate confirmation process by which a nominee is interrogated by both parties and give their reasons why they are fit to be on the high court is absolutely deeply flawed. Why? Because these nominees lie.
You know, if I was accused of being a serial rapist because I liked beer at 16, I'd probably say whatever I needed to get the hell out of that building.
I agree with that, Joey.
Yeah, so later Greg Gutfeld, well, he outright lies on camera saying that on social media, that it's filled with people right now bragging about their abortions. And then that's when things really got messy.
The other thing that drives me crazy, now that I'm on my soapbox, is it used to be even the pro-choicers would admit that abortion was an ugly thing, but they felt it had to be a necessary evil. Something that would be safe and rare. That was the argument you always heard.
Yeah.
But now when you go anywhere on social media, it's something to celebrate, to cherish, right? The unborn, to shout.
That's baloney.
No, well,
that's baloney.
I'll give you
Cherish
evidence.
the wire hanger stuck up their privates, trying to get what? Come on.
The unborn child.
Come on. That's
the unborn child becomes
before Roe.
This is exactly what I expected. You bring out the old coat hanger.
Arrogant.
Go for it, Geraldo. Come on, keep going.
Okay, Joey.
You're making a fool of yourself.
On this.
Don't you? You know something?
What?
You insulting punk.
Okay.
Oh, what? Am I your new Bongino?
Go. If you want that role.
Now, I know, Cenk, you have some insight into this clip and what was really going on, so I will go ahead and pass it to you.
Okay, so there's two different things here. We're gonna get to the abortion issue, which they're talking about, but there was a little bit of internal Fox News politics there, if you noticed. So now, Geraldo and Dan Bongino have been yelling at each other on a number of segments, mainly on Hannity's show, and Gutfeld was referring to that. But if you noticed, he said to Geraldo, they're like, basically, what are you gonna do? All right, go ahead, are you gonna insult me? That's Gutfeld saying, I'm not Bongino, I'm more powerful at Fox, and you better watch yourself, because if you insult me, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And if you notice, when he said that, Geraldo all of a sudden did quiet up, because he does understand the internal politics at Fox News, and Gutfeld is a bigger host there, so all of a sudden he backed down a little bit, okay? So that was an interesting part of the cat fight. But now, okay, let's talk about the issue at hand. Of course, Gutfeld is talking about, they're bragging about having abortion. No, abortion is oftentimes a very traumatic event in a woman's life. But at the same time, by the way, I also want to say, I think people like myself and a lot of women are done apologizing for it. You know, the right wing wants to make them feel terrible for it. Like, oh, if you have an abortion, you're a bad person. It's a dirty act. You should feel terrible. No deal. No deal. It's your body, it's your choice. We don't have to apologize to anybody for it. So I don't know. I have no interest in going back to the bad old days where everybody's like, "Oh, it's a necessary evil, and it's so bad and evil." No, I don't agree. By the way, my personal opinion is abortion is no big deal. You're not allowed to say that. Christians will be really mad. Okay, I don't care. Let them get mad. I'm not Christian. I don't think it's a big deal at all, to be honest with you. I think it's an elective procedure where you're removing a tiny little cell in your body that hasn't grown to a damn thing. Oh, you're not allowed to have that opinion. Well, too bad for you. I do have that opinion, and I just stated it.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think abortion is something that should be considered a big deal as opposed to simply health care and making a decision that governs your body and the life that you want to lead and the options that are available to you. And it seems like too many people have enjoyed shaming women in particular for making the choice and using that bodily autonomy and deciding their own destinies. And so that's why we're seeing so many states wanting to pass laws that interfere with that, because that's one of the most powerful things you can have as a human being, that bodily autonomy and determining how you choose to bring your body, how you choose to interact with it and its interaction with the world. And so these ideas also that people are online bragging about their abortions, they're not. I read a story the other day where a woman had tweeted out that she was raped by a man when she was 13, and that she had to get an abortion. I read the other day about a woman who was raped by someone in the military with her and had to get an abortion. These often are born out of trauma. And so when we fail to recognize that, we are failing to recognize someone's full humanity, and we are denying them the opportunity to own their exercise of bodily autonomy. And that's a problem.
Yeah, and so when you're telling one of the worst things that's ever happened in your life, a story of getting raped and having to have an abortion, I'm pretty sure that's not celebrating it. But that's the disgusting people at Fox News. They think, well, we're gonna take away women's freedom, so we have to pretend that they had it coming, and that otherwise they celebrate evil acts. And notice how they're constantly calling us immoral, and when we push back, and TYT's about, now there's more people. There's people online, there's a lot of millennials and Gen Z who don't believe in the old rules. The old rules are the ones that are on mainstream media and that mainstream Democrats follow, which is, no, but you're not allowed to push back against Republicans. Well, for us and all the people that I just mentioned that are in the new school, no, the Republicans are immoral. They're the ones who hate freedom. It's a fact. You can't argue with it. You can't say, I'm gonna take away your freedom to control your own body, but I love freedom. No, if you say that, I guess you can say it. It's just you're a moron, and you're admitting you're a moron. Just say it, admit it. I hate freedom if it's for women. I want to have them serve as chattel for us, and do things that they don't want. I want to take away their consent completely, and I want the jackbooted thugs of the government to do it. Of course, that's Republicans. They're immoral.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.